Good afternoon, Saturday, 2 o'clock UK time. We're going to be painting some Dreadnought. My camera has shifted slightly. I have a thread! Oh no, a loose thread. No surprise, this top is ancient. Right, so I realised yesterday when I was painting, I spent some time with the airbrush yesterday because I figured I should probably get some base tones down on this and this obviously. I definitely hi Ben, you alright? I definitely need to punch the highlights up a bit more because at the moment it looks a little bit flat still, so I will touch up some areas where my putty crossed over the bits that I wanted to paint, and then I will do some work on the other bits that I found that I also definitely need to paint still, that I completely forgot about, so here we are. Bit of lotion on my hands because my hands are very dry. How are you doing today, Ben? You alright? Okay, heater can stay on for a little bit longer. It's quite nice. Decent, nice. We like a decent. Right. I've had a good weekend so far. Yes, actually. Yeah, it's been alright. What did I get up to? Yesterday, took the dog to the groomer. And had movie night with Nick in the evening, which was really nice. And this morning has been a lazy morning. Nick had let me have a lay-in, which was really nice. He sorted the dog while I had breakfast in bed, which is always hugely appreciated, obviously. And the rest of the week has been fine, to be honest. Yeah, nothing to write home about. Bit slow. But no huge dramas either, so can't really complain. I mean, I could, but it would be petty. Deb says, how are you? Silly how the putty has covered almost everything, except there were some areas where it's missed, and then there's some areas where it didn't cover, so now I have blue on my metallics in certain areas, which is a bit annoying, but we'll touch it up. You alright? What movie we watched? K-pop Demon Hunters. I've been meaning to get Nick to watch it for ages, because I'm a bit of a sucker for it at the moment. I tend to obsess over things, and this is my current obsession, and I really liked it. So and he didn't hate it. He seemed to enjoy it. He said he liked it. So good times were had by all. It's funny because you get all these videos of like online people saying, "Oh, I don't really understand why people like this movie," and then the next frame is them like wrapped in a blankie, completely locked in. Oh, all of them. I mean, I've had them on my playlist for a while because I've watched the movie 3 times before, so this is my 4th time that I've watched it. And the songs have been on my playlist for a while. But yeah, Soda Pop is very good. Obviously golden. I also like Your Idol. Because that's, yeah. It's just a very fun movie. Just really fun. It's very silly. Oh, I love silly. I love it when things make me happy when I watch them, so. Have you seen it, Ben? I imagine you have. Mr. Lovegood, just done with your chores. Very nice. How are you doing today? I was just saying that I watched K-pop Demon Hunters with Mr. Black Dog yesterday. Nivian. I'd already seen it a few times and he didn't hate it, so I'm happy. And yes, I am aware that it's technically a kids' movie and that it's yet another one of those, oh, it's popular now kind of things, but it makes me very happy. Had a meeting today you're very happy about. Ooh, nice. What kind of meeting did you have? Always nice when they go well. Especially on a Saturday. Good morning, Dagamad. You alright? Not seen it yet? It's on your watch list? Oh, you should watch it. It's so... It starts off really, really silly and it gradually gets less silly. But it's just a really sweet, wholesome movie. And really fun. The songs are really fun. And yes, I am a little bit obsessed, but it's just one of my current hyper-focuses obsessions. In short, you're a trans guy, you're finally, after 6 years of waiting, getting help and applying to change. Amazing! Congratulations! Oh, that's amazing. I'm so happy for you. Oh, that's huge. I'm so happy for you. That is freaking amazing. No wonder you're buzzing. You feel better than expected for hitting the club last night. You don't drink, but you dance like like the semi-pro you are. Yeah, sometimes you feel that the next day. I am definitely not a good dancer, so I don't do it very often. I really either need to have like a party that I really feel comfortable at with the exact right music, or I have to be very drunk, and neither of them happen very often, so... I do like a good shimmy in the kitchen when I'm cooking though. the music on. But it's not exactly the kind of workout that you feel the next day. You're trying a modern dance stage for 8 years. You better be good. Well, not everything is for everyone, right? Even with training, it doesn't always work out the way we want it. You're bragging about it anywhere you can, just so happy it's finally happening. Might get changed before Christmas. What kind of Christmas present would that be? That'd be amazing. Of course you're bragging, I completely understand. Like, it's not the kind of struggle that I'm familiar with myself, obviously, but it's... I know enough people who've gone through similar, even just knowing them like in passing and knowing how big a deal it is, so I'm really happy for you. Can only imagine what it feels like to finally be able to officially be yourself. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, of course. Like, it's a very exciting time. Even for those of us who don't go through it, I'm just glad that it's happening for people who need it. What do I tell your friends? I'm not good by now. I should have quit a while ago. No, you can still enjoy things, even if you're not very good at them. Sure, it helps to be reasonably good at something to get your enjoyment from it, but I have no reason to think that we shouldn't be doing things just because we're not good at them, because that stops a lot of people from doing a lot of things, and I don't like that. So if you love it, you should be able to do it. At least that's how I feel about it. Like, sure, if you're like an actual pro and people are paying you for a certain result, you should be able to deliver that result, but that's a different story altogether. The thing is, you only need to lose 2 kilos more before you put on a waiting list for gender affirming surgery. Holy shit! Oh my god! That is awesome! You're really on track then. That's... wow. What an achievement. That's huge. You can be really proud of yourself. I bet you are. I bet it feels amazing, but yeah, that's really, really cool. You're just really motivated, yeah, I bet you are. Helps if you have a goal like that to work towards, I suppose. Doesn't make it any easier. Doesn't take away from the accomplishment, but it's still helps. Just get pretty close to local trans community here. Know what it's gonna mean? Yeah, it's been we're excuse me. just really, really excited for you. Very, very happy. That's coming along really nice, Blorp. It's coming along. I'm just touching up a few areas that, for obvious reasons, weren't really addressed much by the airbrush when I worked on that yesterday, and also bits that somehow the putty dribbled over. So I've got a few areas that need a bit of touching up, and then we'll need some TLC after that. Oh man, that pizzle that you bought him smells like... It's really stanky. He's loving it. He's working on it so hard that his tail's actually dropped. He's too busy with his pizzle to pay attention to his tail, bless him. You just picked up all the stuff he seemed interested in, £28. Well, you've made his day, obviously. He's just sort of walking around with his snacks, trying to find a good position, bless him. How did I... Already got paint on my nails. So weird, you can... But just by looking at my hands at the moment, you can see how my heat distribution in my hands is. Left hand, much warmer than my right hand, because my nail polish isn't changing colour so much on my right hand as it is on my left hand. But yeah, you've made the dog very happy, and that makes me happy, so thank you. What's everyone up to today? Anyone doing anything fun or not fun? Also valid. Things need to sometimes happen. I'll send you half for the snacks later. Nivian. Like, I'm sure you can't actually see these parts, but when this is put together, well, do I have any other hobbies outside of painting these? Blank said correct word. Warhammer. This is Warhammer. So I paint Warhammer minis, occasionally 3D printed things. Sometimes they go with the Warhammer and sometimes they are separate. Other hobbies, basically anything. Like, I've done crochet in the past and knitting. I picked up journaling for a while. My dog, I suppose, is a hobby. It's probably the one that I spent the most money on anyway, even more so than Warhammer. Yeah, minis. Minis are the correct term. What else do I do? Yeah, games, video games. I play World of Warcraft. I have since Burning Crusade, so that's like 20 odd years ago. What else do I do? I think it's a bit of a neurospicy trait where you have like current hyperfixations or hobbies that all of a sudden take over your entire life, but only for a few months, and then you drop them for the rest of your life, or until the feeling strikes again, which can be years later. Hey, Painter, you alright? How you doing? So yeah, I've got quite a few things that I like. But Warhammer has definitely stuck around longer than any of the other ones have so far. And reading, a lot of reading. Yeah, I'm not officially diagnosed. I've had an ADHD assessment where they told me that I definitely have ADHD traits, but not enough to fully diagnose me. I have an autism assessment this coming Friday, which I am hoping will give me some clarity. Because I feel like I've got a bit of both. Which I guess makes it quite difficult to diagnose, but also, like, please help. So, yeah, that's where we are at the moment. Not fully diagnosed, not fully accepted by either label, so to speak, but hopefully getting there. We shall see. I'm hoping I'll get a slightly more tuned in assessor this time round. Last time she was very was a bit short-sighted. I felt like she wasn't really. You've only done Warhammer for 31 years, just a passing hobby. Yeah, that's fair enough. Typical, not full points. Hate that system, really do. Somebody I've chatted with said they've been literally 1 point off, and that makes them unqualified. Yeah, like I'm very high on the like for the ADHD assessment, very high on the side of the attention deficiency and like yeah, I scored really high on that side, but then not at all on the excess energy, etc., and the fidgeting and the all that, like extremely low. So yeah, they she said, "Oh yeah, you definitely have traits." Um, but she felt that I leaned more towards autism. So yeah, it's not something that I had considered myself. I don't really know if I feel that diagnosis fits either. But then I don't really know as much about autism as I do about ADHD. So I guess we'll see. The assessor I have this Friday is apparently specialised in late diagnosis and women as well, and other mental health things. So with a bit of luck, you'll know a bit better what to do with me. Yeah, I think AUDHD is the mixed term. Thank you. Yeah, it all falls under the yeah, under the under the same sort of spectrum. They don't do what used to be Asperger's diagnosis. That is now just part of autism, I think. Just lower on the severity scale. I feel like my trouble is that I'm nearly 40 years old. Like I'm 40 next year, and I've over the years learned to mask so well that I'm now not entirely sure anymore what's masking and what isn't. And I don't really know how to turn it off anymore. But I was talking to my mum the other day about because she had to fill in a part of the sorry, I have a hair tickles. She was filling in part of the questionnaires for me because it always asks for someone who's known you as a child. And she was saying that well she didn't feel like I'm autistic or ADHD or whatever specifically. She did say that a lot of these questions did sort of match. And she also said that apparently because it asks about do you have trouble with eye contact and stuff, and I feel like I don't have trouble with eye contact. But my mum was saying like, oh, you do have trouble with eye contact. And it's like, I do? So yeah, because like you're always slightly too intense. So you're staring rather than just having normal eye contact. And I was like, oh, okay. Did not realise that apparently I'm even doing the eye contact wrong. So here we are. it's one of those. Like, I thought I was doing it all right, but yeah. Yeah, that's the trouble. I've done that way too long. Working in food, restaurants, cafes, shops. It's you have ADHD as well, diagnosed with autism, formerly Asperger's, when you were 6, officially ADHD at 16. Your current doctor to psychiatrist, he doesn't believe you have either. Oh, fantastic. Wonderful. It's always great when they just dismiss you. Just because they think, oh no, you don't fully fit the bill, so nah. You never yourself checks, but you have an extra in it in there. It's one of those things. Like they were like, oh, do your parents have ADHD or autism? I was like, well, not diagnosed, but my dad is definitely on the spectrum. Like, definitely. I've never met anyone in my life who is more out of sync with what other people do and feel than he is. And he's and my mum is, because I was explaining stuff to her, like oversensitivity to certain, like to sounds and music and stuff. And she's like, oh yeah, I don't really have that, except for when except for when people play music. I really hate it when they play music that I don't like. So Mum, you and I both get super anxious when it's music that we don't like, when we're like actively, physically get stressed over music that we don't like. Being British means that you don't feel anything. Yeah, it's nice and easy. You have a bit of everything in your family, apparently. Oh man, I'm very curious to see how this Friday is going to go. I'm preparing slightly better for the assessment this time, I think. I'm actually more writing down what kind of like symptoms I've noticed that other people have said are part of like neurospicy diagnosis things, but because I'm able to, yeah, they call it a high functioning autism, etc. So it might just be that, you know, maybe I'm just who knows. Being British, don't feel anything except anxiety, depression. Yeah. It's hard to tell what is learned and what is innate. Yeah, exactly. I've like I like being social. I like being around people, but it makes me so tired. Like I can do about 2 hours of it, and then I have to recover for days. And I very often don't drop my sponge. Very often don't. Yeah, I either overshare or undershare. I'm always slightly off in the. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm imagining things, but it would certainly explain stuff over the years and why I've been able to. Yeah, exactly. High functioning is a super misnomer. I'm not a fan of it at all, because one of the reasons I'm trying to get diagnosed now is because I am struggling as much as I am. Like, I have no energy, I feel constantly drained because I feel like I'm working so hard at being what I should be, or what I'm expected to be, that I run out of energy to be who I want to be. And I feel like if I had, even if I just had a label to slap on it, it would feel a lot less like I'm failing as a human being. Why I can't do the things that everyone else seems to take for granted. People on the spectrum have the ability to switch off normal feelings when there's a crisis. Like my dog, not this dog, but our first family dog, got attacked in the park one year, like by a big, like, bulldog sort of dog, and he literally had if you're squeamish and stuff, best not to listen for a bit. But he was proper torn up and like, so I drove him to the emergency vet with my partner at the time in the passenger seat next to me. Met my mum at the emergency vet, helped them flush out the wounds in the intensive care unit. Absolutely fine. And it wasn't until they took him away to like put a drain in the wound, so that if it did get like fluid build up in the neck, that it would be able to drain. And they do that like with nurses and stuff. And it wasn't until they took him away and I had to sit in the waiting room for him that I started shaking and properly crashed out. I mean, it was awful. It was really awful at the time, but it ended well. Like he survived, and it was he was fine. But it's just very typical how, like, doing something absolutely normal will send me spiraling. Having to phone or do anything related to like anything like official, if that makes sense, HMRC, tax office, that kind of stuff, I can stress about that for weeks. Like, I have to renew my passport, and it's been literally waking me up in the middle of the night because I'm stressing over it, and it's not until February that it runs out. So And then actual crisis situations, I'm cool as a cucumber. So it's really, yeah, it's odd. You didn't know it was a trait of the spectrum, thought it was insensitive. I don't think people on the spectrum are insensitive necessarily. I think there are certain disorders that can help you struggle to identify emotions, but I don't think not understanding an emotion is the same as being insensitive at all. Just because you don't feel it yourself doesn't mean that you don't care about how someone else is feeling or how someone else is dealing with it. I think oftentimes people on the spectrum or people who, like us, deal with stuff, deal with things in a different way and often feel things much more deeply than others, which makes it more comfortable to shut off emotions for a time, because the alternative is breaking down and having a bit of a meltdown, which obviously no one likes. But the downside of that is that when you do crash out, it oftentimes is way more intense than it needs to be if we'd been able to feel the things that we feel earlier on. You don't have stress until after you've dealt with the issue. You hate any kind of conflict or having to push people. You have more gifts from your particular mix than drawbacks. Anxiety issues, but incredible recall and general comprehension. Nice. I don't have time to feel things, I'm too busy. Yeah, that, or in my case, I don't have time to feel things, I am too bored. I need to either be super stimulated, I need stimulation more than more than I thought I would. Until I crash out, and then I need to be under a blanket and not have anything bother me for a bit. But yeah, I find it very difficult to function if there's no urgency. Which makes work quite difficult at times. Because well, deadline isn't there yet, so no rush, right? You've learned to see, realize, and utilize the good rather than the bad parts. You're laughing at yourself, Naira. Also, I am also want to forget where I put the object in your hand if you say hello to me. Yeah. Yeah, I'm great at multitasking. I'm very good at doing multiple things half-arsed. Not InfoSec, how are you? Am I painting the Dreadnought a particular chapter in Legion? Yeah, I'm doing Space Wolves at the moment. But still in the very early stages of, but this is, I've done shoulder pads with a bit of a, I started the shoulder pads, I'm not done yet, but just to give myself an idea of what they're going to look like. But yeah, I realized that I had two biceps parts that I hadn't touched yet, and this shoulder pad and this shoulder pad need to be attached to them. So like, oh shoot, I should probably do those as well. And welcome to the stream. Do you paint yourself? I imagine so. If you're asking about chapters and legions, that makes me think you also Warhammer. I say Warhammer as a verb. This is going to be covered entirely by 3D printed bits, but I'll know what they look like. So, time to make noms. Awesome, enjoy. Is that breakfast for you, Degamad? Currently working on some Dark Angels Hellblasters. Nice. Lurking gives you the push to finally get them done. Nice. I do like having a hobby stream on in the background when I'm working as well. Just, yeah, nice to have someone else play around with stuff while I'm playing around with stuff. Oh, nice. Enjoy your breakfast. Yeah, I have one better for you. You looked for your mobile while holding it in your hand, using the torch on the phone twice to look under the bed before you realised. That's fantastic. I love that. I'm normally pretty good at remembering where things are. Very much organised chaos. I am pretty messy though, I think. I like things in certain places. Like I like it a lot when I know, for example, or when I've loaded the dishwasher and it's all in the way that I like it. But my wardrobe is an absolute disaster. Like, literally all my clothes are just chucked in there. It's all hanging space. Got no shelves. And I just can't be bothered with hangers, so stuff ends up on top of the rail. It's just... yeah, I need to completely empty it out and redo the lot, but oh man, the thought of doing it is just yeah, not keen. Not keen at all. Right, so let's see how this is going to look with an edge highlight, and see how much more I will need to add to the because I think at the moment it's slightly too dark. I want a bit more. I did a bit of a gradient, but not enough to really. I need a bit more on the raised areas. But we'll see how much. I might do a double edge highlight. So you have a system of special, specific places and pockets for things to be. Otherwise, the rest is in chaos. Yeah, my handbag is one of those things. It's massive. Like, normally carry around half an inventory in there. Because I hate not knowing for sure that I have everything that I might need. So I tend to have stuff like plasters and sticky tape and painkillers and pens, and I used to have a sewing kit in there. Like, actually pretty good at organising. Just don't do it unless pressed. You did manufacturing for a bit in your career and just enjoy making it as efficient as possible. Yeah, same. You have too many things and not enough storage space. Your bookshelf is so full you have to stack the books at this point, but you can't have a bookshelf because current flat is too small. Yeah. It's one of the reasons why I started reading on an e-reader. I get ridiculously attached to inanimate objects. Handbag is TARDIS-like, yes, can confirm. Your mum always used to have a massive handbag full of stuff when you were a kid. Yeah, it's a bit of an obsession thing, I think, like wanting to be prepared for any eventuality. Which is silly, really. But the amount of times that my handbag has come in clutch, pardon the pun, just because I had something that someone needed. Bag of holding, indeed. Like Mary Poppins' bag. Personally prefer physical books. To be fair, you haven't tried proper e-reader yet. You have it on your wish list. For the longest time, I was almost, I was against e-readers. Like, I thought I needed to feel the book in my hand. I needed to feel the paper and smell the book and everything. And then I got a proper e-reader, and it's so much easier. Oh my god. Like, I take my e-reader with me everywhere. I always used to do that with my book as well. Like, I'd always have my book with me, but when you're a fantasy reader like I am, and you read as much as I do, you end up with really, really heavy bags. Like, 800-page books, and you're sitting there lugging that around in your handbag just in case you have a spare 10 minutes because you arrived somewhere way too early because you're always obsessive about arriving on time. It's plus I feel like I'm almost incapable of getting rid of things that I really, really like. So if I really like a book, I want to keep it. I really do not like the feeling of throwing books away. It stresses me out. So having an e-reader where I don't have to throw anything away, I can just keep the books, has been huge for me. Because we have 2 bookshelves, and I used to have a couple of boxes of books that I moved with me when I moved to England. And I've slowly been getting rid of things to create more space. And instead just hold on to the things that I like to look at rather than just books. I say just books, there's no such thing as just books, but you know what I mean. But it saved me massively, plus being able to use Kindle Unlimited. I don't know where in the world you are, Mr. Lovegood, but being able to use like an online library service almost is huge. When you read as much as I do, you end up spending way too much money on books otherwise. As much as I don't want to give Mr. Bezos my money, I also don't want to send it into the abyss of purchasing paperbacks or having to go to... I mean, I suppose I could go to a physical library, like an actual library, but I feel like I'd get judged for my taste in books. Plus they'd run out pretty quickly. Run out of the books that I like to read. But yeah, for years I was really almost obsessive about not wanting to get an e-reader. And I'm really glad that I changed my tune on that. It saves me an absolute fortune, both in finances and space, and I suppose shoulder pain. You live in Sweden and just found out a Swedish electronics store has several e-readers now. Last time we checked it didn't have a single one. Oh! That's weird. Currently looking at specs. Nice. If you can get one with a backlight, I recommend it, because it means that you can read in the dark. It's a very gentle light that just behind the page. Obviously not necessary, but most of them come with it now, I think, most of the newer ones. Just makes it a little bit easier. Again, convenience. Yeah, I think there's quite a few ways to get, I think, libraries in some cases also have e-reader, like e-book options, so you don't need to have the physical books anymore, you can just borrow the e-reader book. Which honestly saves a lot of money. Cool. Today's breakfast: cheese and pepperoni omelette with a crisp grilled rice patty. Nice. That sounds really cool. I don't think I've ever gone for crisp grilled rice, but that does sound really nice. You put that together pretty quick. Did you have leftover rice or? Like to use sticky rice, throw it in a pan early until one side's brown, flip it over. Huh. I have to admit, never done that, but then I don't eat as much rice as I probably should. Oh, the rice is cooking. Okay, I was going to say that's... Eh. What kind of style or kitchen do you not normally cook, Dagamad? Because I feel like you're always, whenever you're making something, it's always something different, like a different culinary experience. Makes me wonder what culinary background you have. Eh. Third play, hello, how are you? Your name. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a great Saturday so far. Doing alright, I'm doing alright. Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Glad to hear you're okay. welcome to the stream. Do you paint Warhammer yourself, or is it just something you like to watch in the background sometimes? You do not, your hands are shaky and weak due to disability, but you enjoy the art. Nice. I mean, not that you can't, but nice that you enjoy it. Would airbrushing be an option for you? Or obviously you might not be interested in it that way, which is absolutely fine. Of course. I haven't tried actually. Yeah, I think it is. The only main thing about airbrushing is the trigger control. That is potentially difficult if your hands are not as forthcoming as you'd like them to be. But you can get, like, I have an airbrush. I'll show you. This one. Just trying to see if I can find the. There's a part that goes in between here, which stops the amount of airflow. Like, holding an airbrush is easier than holding a small brush, but you can. It's this bit that can be quite difficult if your hands are not playing ball. But this specific airbrush, the Harder & Steenbeck Ultra, now comes with a little ring here that you can twist to stop how far you can pull the trigger back. So that might be an option for you if you're interested in doing it yourself. Obviously you can't get really fine detail with it if you are very shaky, but with the right needle and the right control you can still make fine lines and everything, even with an airbrush if you're close in, but it will take a lot of practice. It's not going to come overnight. You're back, took a deep dive, watched the review as well, and what's the verdict? Have you ordered one yet? Hateland, hey, you alright? Lord Pirate Pete, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. I am being blinded by my own light here. How are you doing? The actual... Finger dexterity is no issue, it's more coordination, but hard to explain. Yeah, I think if you're like trembly like that, but your hands are still, your fingers are still alright, I think airbrushing might be an option. It gives you a little bit more, you won't have to worry so much about where the brush is going, if that makes sense, because you've got more control over where the air is spraying. It might be an option if it's something that you're interested in. It might be worth considering, but it's also obviously, because it requires tools and stuff, a bit more expensive to get into or just to try. What kind of e-reader do I have? I have a Kindle. I have bought into Jeff Bezos's Imperium because I really like Kindle Unlimited, the library service where you can you pay a flat fee every month. You can rent shitloads of books. You good? Thanks. How are you? Thank you. Yeah, I'm not too bad, Lord Pirate. Or Pete probably, I suppose. Yeah, not too bad. I'm having so far a pretty good time with this Dreadnought, so that's something. Either way, my art is badass. Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you. It's my first time painting a like a larger vehicle. Also, my first time painting a space wolf. So it's all yeah, it's a bit of a learning curve. Here we are. Journeyman Painter, how are you? How you doing? There's always a first time for everything. Absolutely, I agree, and it's so far it's really fun. I'm really enjoying it. I'm using my airbrush for things that I haven't used them for. Haven't used it for before. I'm using colors that I haven't used before, and I'm using 3D printed bits, which I also haven't used before on a Warhammer model. So it's all very exciting. Just doing a bajillion edge highlights on a Battletech Mini. Seems like you're slaying the Dreadnought. Thank you. Yeah, it's going alright so far. I've done 2 of the shoulder bits. They're not finished yet, but I've put like the main colours down. I need to sort out this glow thing because I'm not happy with that. But yeah, we're getting there. Don't know if you saw e-reader you're looking at Blood Massive. I must have missed it. Bear with. A Kobo. Oh yeah. I bought my mum a Kobo actually. And she likes it. She likes it a lot. She's very, very happy with it. She also was almost like almost bordering on religiously opposed to using an e-reader. And now she won't use anything else anymore because it's so much easier on her wrist when she's reading in bed and not has to carry or hold a heavy book up anymore. I must admit I can't remember which one it was that I bought for her. This was back in March, I want to say. I bought like a mid-range one for her. But yeah, Kobo is also the main e-reader brand in the Netherlands as well. You do like your Kindle, you're the person that buys hard copies of every book you have on Kindle, at least the ones you like. Nice. Very valid, which is why I would at least like to try one that costs so much. Yeah. It's the initial investment, but then after that, ebooks tend to be cheaper than hard copies. Not always, because sometimes you can get really dirt cheap paperbacks, but generally speaking, ebooks are cheaper than printed books. And it's just the convenience of it. I am very much a convenience kind of girl nowadays. Everything needs to be at least comfortable and not stress me out. I've got enough stress going on in my life, which is a bit of an exaggeration. I don't have that much stress going on, but it's getting to that age where I'm beginning to think like I'm too old for this shit and I just want things to be comfortable. And I used to do the same, Mr. Lovegood. I used to oh sorry, it was Journeyman Paint Hour. I used to do the same. I used to buy physical copies of the books that I really enjoyed. But I enjoy a lot of books, which is very quickly a problem if you have limited amount of space. Because I don't, if I really like a book, I don't want to part with it afterwards, which makes it very problematic space-wise very quickly. You get most of your book from charity shops. Man, speak of Terry Pratchett signed for £2. Ah, holy grail of charity finds that. Jeez, that is awesome. Which one was it? You've been trying to use your Kindle more. You just purchased all of the Siege of Terra books and paperback today. There's nothing wrong with using paper copies of books. It's a very valid way to enjoy media, and at least they can never be taken away from you. Like for some reason, if Mr. Bezos one day decided that we needed to start paying way more for our stuff, he could in theory take everything away from us. Like with DVDs and CDs and everything, having an actual physical copy of something is a safe bet. But I know what I'm like, and I know how much I struggle to part with things once I get attached to them. So I tend to not buy physical copies anymore. I'm planning on moving anyway to a bigger flat in a different place in general, but you don't want to use up all the space at once when you eventually get to it. Yeah, but you can get like floor to ceiling bookshelves, right? You can make one of these Beauty and the Beast kind of bookshelf walls with a ladder. It's the dream. It wasn't signed at the front, it was several pages in. It was Monsters Regiment. Oh, cool. Don't know if I've read that one. And interesting that it was signed not at the front, but hidden. Mr. Pratchett. He does like his surprises. Quickly closed it. Hope they didn't see the signature. Oh, they wouldn't. And if it's priced already, right, they can't all of a sudden change the price on it. I feel like charity shops aren't there to make money anyway. They're there just to stay in business enough to take people's old stuff and sell it on. Otherwise, the occasional crazy find of like designer shoes and handbags and stuff wouldn't really be an option. But it's so cool when it happens. It makes you feel like you're on cloud 9. I love a good charity shop find. I used to buy a lot of my clothes in charity shops, but I've put on quite a lot of weight over the last 10 years. And it's not as easy or as fun anymore when you're heavier to buy clothes. They're not checking everything and comparing it to online prices, really? That's crap. You are right, though. Sometimes you think, like, why am I paying almost new prices for things that are clearly secondhand and used? Hello. Hello, kind sir. How's it going? I had almost a whole collection in hardback. Well, yeah, you would. Only downside of being able to buy almost the whole collection in hardback is that you don't have to find the last missing pieces in hardback. You used to live in a super small community, and the best bookstore nearby was a Goodwill an hour's drive away. You read so many secondhand books. Yeah, I mean, I grew up with libraries, and that by nature means you're never reading new books, or almost never. And those little I don't know if that's, I haven't really seen them here, but the little like local community libraries where literally just a literal like a cubby that's sat outside, and it's like a take a book, leave a book kind of thing. Really like those too. By the way, if already you've rinsed out like 30 to 40 books out of your shelf, but it's still overfull, just like a yarn basket. Ah, yes. And how often do you use your yarn? The other day, I was stood in Aldi in the center aisle, holding about 4 skeins of yarn, like big old balls of yarn. Thinking, oh my god, this is amazing. These colors are so soft and they feel really yeah, it feels really nice. And then I realized that I haven't touched my crochet hook or my knitting needles in probably about 9 years. So to be buying a lot of yarn is absolutely ridiculous. So I stopped myself. I had to take everything out of my basket again. Tired today, but good. Yeah, no, that's not too bad. Yeah, I'm all right. I am all right. I had a nice chill start to the day, which was very nice. Very much appreciated. And yeah, just painting my little war dollies at the moment, which is nice. Even if I am messing up. You clear out 60 to 70 before you move, and clearing out more just to reduce to certain main authors, you know, you're going to read. Yeah. Only got into reading in 9th grade. Had Mr. slam the book on your table after me not reading at the appointed time. Read it. I think you'll like it. You posted your technique into other pics. Oh, nice. Pick up rifle, sticky rice, sushi rice. Oh, sweet. That looks really tasty, actually. You don't have a lot of free time anymore, so you don't get to creating as much as with your yarn anymore. Never have the right yarn. No. Ugh, don't get me started. One of the main reasons I started streaming was to actually schedule in hobby time for myself, because otherwise I just wouldn't do it. Let me get distracted with other things or with my phone doom scrolling, because that's easier. But if I physically plan a stream, only free time you get overwhelmed by all the hobbies you have, so you often... Yeah, well, there you go. That. So yeah, for me, booking in streaming has been an absolute lifesaver, because it forces me to sit down and paint, because otherwise I'll get like choice paralysis. You laugh at the Dreadnought has a pose like he wants to be picked up to see something taller. Pete. It's only because I'm holding him like this, but yes, you're right. He's still flexible. We've seriously debated streaming for the same reason: the public pressure of being consistent on painting times and durations. Same, get distracted easily and at times bored quickly. Yeah, it's hard, man. You just hate your voice, you'd rather listen to other people. So the thing is, I never listen to my own streams, ever. Like, I'll upload them to YouTube because I need, like, I like the idea of having like the library or the history of what I've done. But I hate my voice. I hate hearing myself. I hate hearing how weird my accent is. I hate... Yeah, I hate... No, I hate is a strong word. It just makes me really uncomfortable. So yeah, I never listen back. Dreadnoughts need uppies too. You do read aloud sometimes, actually. Sometimes it takes... Really? Because for me, the opposite happens. The moment I start reading out loud, I'm more conscious of how it sounds, rather than the actual information that I'm reading. That's quite interesting to me that it works like that for you. Like, my brother used to need physical activity to be able to remember things. So when he was revising for like school tests and stuff, we used to throw a ball back and forth, and I would go through his, like, say, his French homework with him, just basically play catch. You told you have a radio voice, but you do sound much deeper to yourself, so when you hear yourself back, it sounds like a child. You also hate your voice and you sing. You went to the music program in high school, you had to record and listen to yourself over. Oh my god. Yeah, I can totally imagine that being torture. That sounds horrendous. It's bad enough for me because I had to record a new answer machine message for us at work. And when I can't get to the phone in time, I hear the answer machine pick up and I can hear my... Thank you for calling. We can't get to the phone right now, so please leave a message after the tone and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Like, ah! So, you also work in a call center, so your social battery is flat most of the time. Yeah, you find it hard shutting off from work, so you cleared and rearranged your desk better so you can carry on your private work army. Nice. I was told by someone very wise recently, thank you, Nivian, that sometimes not having the energy to do a hobby shouldn't be the reason for not doing it, because oftentimes you actually get energy from doing the things you enjoy. So whilst you might be tired when you start, it actually can give you energy down the line, even if it's not necessarily something that you feel like you were up for to start with. So having a space where you can just sit down and start, which for me is the main thing. Like if I have to prepare to get something, to get the hobby going, chances are it won't happen. One of the reasons why we built the garage or converted the garage is so we could have like a dedicated painting space for both of us, so we could both just go and paint rather than having to clear out a space first and then set up our paints and stuff. This way we can just get in here, get painting. For you it's the opposite. Your pro voice sounds so much like a robot. You've been ignored. Oh jeez. Yeah, also not ideal. That's why you're clearing your flat so that you can stay out and also feel better, but you still have chronic pain syndrome in your arms. So, oh god, that sucks. Yeah, that really sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. That's rubbish. It makes everything so much more difficult. Just being able to do the things that you want to do can turn into like a hurdle, and everything makes it more difficult. Don't know how much you'll know about vocal range, but thanks to you being on testosterone and voice training, etc., you've gone soprano to a bass singer. Really? That's huge. And awesome, considering what's going on. I've always been like alto range, but I'm very, it's a very narrow alto range. I don't really have much range, unfortunately. I did have some training for a while, but I was singing with a friend of mine who is just a much better singer than I was, so it was always a little bit awkward. I always felt a bit like, no matter how well you can control your breathing and your technique and stuff, if your friend always sounds better, it's a bit naff. I know that's a bit childish, but in my defense, I was a child at the time, so I was like 17, I think. So now I only sing in the kitchen, and usually only when I'm alone or when I'm driving. I don't really like it when people hear me sing because I don't have the best singing voice. But I do really enjoy it, so. Especially at work when it's aggravated more, it hurts to do the most simple things like picking up a cup or typing. Oh god. That's so debilitating. What kind of work do you do? Do you work in an office? You're a soprano until you eventually drop to an alto at some point and did voice training on your own and dropped maybe half an octave. Jeez. Then started on testosterone and got professional help, voice training, and now bass. That's so cool. At least when you sing, you still have to work on your speaking voice. Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, it doesn't have to go overnight, right? And the testosterone should still be helping with that as well. I imagine if you're still taking it, then it's not done its job yet, completely anyway. You're senior tech support advisor for security and telecoms company. Yes, so behind a PC, you're working with your mouse all day. Usually in an environment where the temperature can be quite fluctuating because whoever sits closest to the control isn't necessarily the person who is best suited to managing the temperature controls. Plus sitting down working all night, working behind a PC is way colder than it has any reason to be. I'm not surprised you have arm warmers. You've been on testosterone for a bit over a year now. I don't actually know much about the transition times and stuff and what kind of... is that something that you have to keep taking for life? To maintain like a certain status quo, I suppose? Or is it, do you get to a point where you're done, or? To me, I'm kind of assuming it's a lifetime kind of thing. Because your body doesn't naturally generate as much. For as you know, you need to take the rest of your life. Yeah, that's fair enough. Hey, worth it though. It often makes me quite happy to see like people who've gone through what you're going through and them being like a physically more attractive, between quotation mark, version of the other gender. So often like transgender women who are so much better at makeup than I will ever be, and trans men looking absolutely stunning because they know what kind of features are attractive, and doing like physical exercises to work on them, and I always find it really, really funny. With these gorgeous trans men and stunning trans women. It's like, yeah, hell yeah. Slaying it. Killing it. Makes me happy. Hand plethorizer can be a sauna, and then they're still cold. Some of them have even hot water bottles and blankets. You like cold, but at a certain point you have to try and control your own temperature. Oh man, it's... I work in an office, and I Well, I've worked in offices for the last 10 years. Women tend to run colder than men, especially in office environments. So we always need to wear more layers to stay warm in temperatures that are way more comfortable for men. I'm finding in my current work, my boss is an electrician by trade. So very active, and he just runs way hotter than I do. No matter what I do, I am always freaking freezing. So we have an electric heater next to us. I will end up with a space heater under my desk, like a fluffy woolly jumper on top, like little wrist warmers like over my hands and everything. And they'll be sitting there in a t-shirt and shorts, and like, how? I'm next to the heater and you're on the other side of the office next to the window and you're comfortable in a t-shirt. Why am I still cold? It's ridiculous. Stupid bodies. I know nothing about nothing. It's funny because Nivian's telling me that he works in an office as well, and for him it's an open plan, big office, and the women will walk around in tank tops and stuff, and then complain that it's cold. So the men who have to wear shirts and trousers are sitting there absolutely boiling their proverbial tits off because the women are complaining that it's too cold, while they're not wearing anywhere near enough. Which is dumb, really. I've always been better with cold, though. You could wear tank tops and shorts in winter. Parents and teachers didn't have a say in it. See, when I'm being active, like if I'm running around, like when I go to dog agility with my dog, way easier. Then I'll be warm really quickly and often too hot too quickly. But if I'm not physically active at the time, I just struggle to regulate my temperature. I just struggle to stay warm. Like I can be in bed for Avila TV. Whoa! Hello, welcome to the stream. How are you? Thank you so much for the raid. How was your stream? How's it going? I tell them to stick their head out of the window this summer and they moan when they're cold. Sinister Plank, hello. Avila, amazing. Can someone do a shout out for Avila, please? If anyone is able to. If not, then I will. Just a Puku, hello. How are you all doing? It was lovely. We did bases for Soulblight Gravelords. Awesome. What kind of bases were you making? Like sad, like swampy cemetery kind of. Thank you for the shout out. I will go drop a little follow. I don't think I follow you yet. I don't. Here we go. Graveyard style, nice. I'm mid-project on a black coach for oh god, name is now just fallen out of my head. Nighthaunt, jeez. And I'm planning on doing a really like sinister, disturbing kind of situation. Very pretty Dreadnought, thank you. This is my very first large vehicle. I paint Age of Sigmar models. At least I tried. So I tend to do more fantasy-like settings. That was a reboot moment. 100%. Yeah, my brain just immediately just went. So I'll currently have 1, 2, 3 projects on the go because I can never finish anything. So like I was saying, my Nighthaunt are in a box here with a hair tie underneath it, which can go into the house. But yeah, black coach with the horses attached, sort of. But I still need to finish the ghosties that go with it, and I still need to do the base. So yeah, it's you're converting our Space Wolf Ballista's Dreadnought. Nice! This is going to be a Space Wolf's Dreadnought as well. I've got a few 3D printed bits that are going to go on there. Which I haven't finished yet, and some more. Yeah, my other project that I have going on at the moment, this is for in-house competition we do every year with our friends. We do like a New Year's competition. And this year is Centerpiece Model. And I decided to do Fulgrim, but do Fulgrim the resin version. Because I just like his wings more than the new version. He's nowhere near done yet. It's another one of those that I started, and yeah, Grey-Tide bits, yes. So yeah, he still needs more oomph to the wings at the moment, but getting there. His head on little cup. We'll see if I can get my camera to focus on that. Yeah, there we go. I really, really like this Fulgrim. I think he's really, really cool. But he doesn't need to be finished until end of December, and this Dreadnought needs to be finished at the start of December. So you're watching a Villa TV, but on the app, on the TV app, which doesn't support raid. So you're manually raiding. Oh, thank you, Night Whisper. I really appreciate that. That's really sweet of you. But yeah, I thought I've never done Space Wolf before. I've never done a Dreadnought before, and I very rarely do anything like actually 40k. It's usually usually Age of Sigmar or more fantasy related. So you've wanted to try some Grey-Tide for a while now. You're mostly doing cuts, clips, and magic sculpt. Yeah, I have to admit, there are some really nice bits. Let me show you. I managed to break one of the bits because I was clumsy, but it was the bit that I didn't want to use anyway, so it wasn't too bad. But it comes with this set for Space Wolves for the Dreadnought comes with the mandatory dick cloth. It comes with like some teeth that go here, I believe. Ooh, where? They go somewhere. There. Up here. And there were more teeth that go over here, go uppies, but I'm ignoring those. There is some shoulder bits. That's these. Exactly, always need a dick flap, it's important. Working on the legs, wanted to repose them to have a step up on a cliff. Yeah, it's I find the normal like stompy Dreadnought pose a bit static. So mine is, it's got his legs like that. And I've built up a little base for him to go on like that. You did hear that right, yeah. And I'm going to do a resin pour in here because the competition that I'm painting him for is winter themed. So this is going to be ice. It's going to be snow on there. I've got I picked up some of this Green Stuff World Liquid Frost, which apparently works really well. I've never used it, so we shall see. Another first. And I did a start on a like I wanted to test how it would go with you got that? How does it work? I know how it works, but does it work well? Space Wolves need a bit more movement. They're not boring Imperial fists after all. Exactly. Difficult to use, haven't quite figured it out. Okay, I will watch some YouTube videos on it then. But yeah, so I did a test resin pour in here, and then I'll test the liquid frost on there. I picked up some. I work next to a gloops and then cures all frosty. Okay. Hmm. So I work next to a miniature train store, like hobby train store, and they use different types of materials for everything, obviously. And I had some glitzender Schnee, sparkly snow. Not that I speak German, but here we are. Good, you have test piece. Oh, 100%. You've been dabbing all over just to see what happens. Yeah. So this is really weird, like... It's like powder. Which you have to mix with some water and then it dries like snowy. And you get mixing glitter! Hobby train stores are gold mine for terrain and basing. You lose woodland ceilings. Yeah, same. I have a drawer full of stuff that we've picked up from there. They use all kinds of crazy, like, grass flock. They've got, like, trees and stuff, and always good to test things out before actually using them. Oh, 100%. I was like, this is scary, because this is stuff that I'm gonna have to... Someone's going to judge this. Someone's going to tell me that I'm either shit or not too bad. And I would really like him to say that I'm not too bad. So, yeah, I thought I would give it a test and practice and stuff. But I'm a little bit concerned because I'm running out of time, which sounds really crazy because it's... What a lovely range. I know, right? Did I hear Space Wolf? You certainly did. Hi, Sir Perry Wolfie. You alright? Yeah, this is going to be my first official, like, piece that I'm going to be entering into a competition. And I know it's only in my local hobby store, and there probably will only be, like, 20 entries or whatever. And I shouldn't be worrying about it, because it's... At the end of the day, who cares, right? It's just... Not the end of the world, but I still want to do well. And... Yeah, it's one of those things. I've just not really... keep finding bits that I haven't done yet, so here we are. You make snow powder with water effect, Mod Podge or gloss varnish in various variations and make different kinds of snow. Oh, cool. You can also just dust it over top before the slurry dries. Oh, cool. Mr. Fat Cat, thank you so much for the follow. Variety is the key. Noted. I'll have to give it a go. A friend of mine got feedback at ReaperCon. Wow, from a judge it's always good to apply some paint or wash even when using basic materials. Well, so color mix it through. You care, and that's the cool bit. Yeah, I suppose. Hi, you're okay. Great art stuff you see too. Yeah. You got some other stuff being printed too. Honestly, I was not expecting the quality of it to be as good as it is. I think we only did one print, and it came out perfectly. It fits on perfectly. Like the scale is spot on. So really, really nice. Mixing a tiny amount of blue ink into the first layer creates a lot. Yes, I did think about that. I was gonna go for like a maybe what's it called? Drakenhof Nightshade or something like that, just to give it a little bit more variety. But yeah, that's what the test piece is for. I need to make sure that I don't just slop things on. I'm very guilty of just, oh, I'll just give it a go and then I'll see how it goes. But it's yeah, I'm impatient. I don't like waiting for things. I think they suggested after the snow material dry to apply some shading and highlighting. Oh, that's clever. Yeah, that makes sense. Just give it more dimension and more depth. That's cool. You like using Athematic Blue? Oh, Liquitex. Yeah, I've got Athematic Blue, obviously. That's a good shout. For the frostier blue. It's all mood. We ball. Yeah, basically. That tends to be it, to be honest. The fact that I've made a test piece, unheard of. I normally just go for it, and then we'll see where it all goes. But yeah, usually it works out all right. It's like for these Fulgrim wings, they're the first things that I've actually painted with my airbrush. I was like, you know what? I'll just use this 180 quid pound, 180 quid model just to test some airbrushing. Who cares? Afternoon, Cat. How are you? You apply some snow, mix with a tiny amount of athematic blue, then another layer of snow that you glaze with athematic blue once cured, and then a top layer of snow for that clean white highlight look. That is... That's a good shout. I will remember that. I hadn't really thought of applying it in layers. That's a good shout. How does this go on? That way. You're okay? Yeah, not too bad, thanks. Not too bad. Just spending a little bit of time with my Dreadnought today and seeing how I get on. Just a snow mix will cure fairly transparent. Okay, cool. Which snow mix did you use? Semi-lurking if you feel a bit rough. Oh no. Thank you for the lurk. She's great for snowballs and stuff. Oh, bear with. Let me... Oh yeah. You kind of want to be creative now too. Mainly thinking of drawing, but you don't know what. Okay. Do something Halloweeny. Woodland Scenics. Yeah, that makes sense. That's a good shout, actually. They all cure fairly transparent because it's just powder suspended in clear medium. Okay. Which is a feature because it's easier to add opacity and colour than it is to remove it. True. Yeah, we're getting there. It's nearly Halloween. I'm going to have to do a pumpkin carving stream again, I think, this year. I have to come up with something pumpkin-y. I'm just going to wait for a few minutes to dry because I'm not going to use the hairdryer now. This is fine because that's going to be covered. Using Woodland Scenic's water effect instead of water as the medium is very useful to create thickness. Huh. That's a proper tip. I think next door the train shop actually have that water medium, water effect. Any kind of thicker acrylic medium works. Okay. That's some really good tips. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Because I can see myself struggling with it and getting really annoyed. Bonk. Mix with water will level out and cure flat and in flat layers. Okay. That makes sense.
I'm not a shrink.
Posture check. Thank you. You are correct. I am slouching. Stretch. Ooh, bonk. And hydrate. Nice. With a medium with more body to it, even if it's just PVA, glue or Mod Podge, retains volume. Noted. Do I want to see what you're working on for the youngest birthday? It's about as good as you get drawing it. Yes, absolutely. Obviously, I want to see Cat. Mod Podge is a matte sealant though, which takes away a bit of that snow. Okay. I don't think I've ever used Mod Podge. I have used PVA, but not that didn't work. Yeah, the self-care bomb. I love them. Setting up will be lurking. Nice. Thank you for the lurk. Easiest prediction of all time. Flonge forgot to change the follower goal. Oh. Bear with. Bear with. Is it under hype trains? It is not. Goals. Any goal started. Visuals and sound. Volume. Save changes. Volume. Save changes. Now. Hopefully. Hopefully. They can enter into Instagram. Yes, please. I would love that. Thank you. The stream is link friendly, so go for it. Water effect cures glossies and is meant to simulate water surface textures. You sent it an SVG. Oh god. It's been a while that one's been redeemed. Bear with. I should probably... Instagram. Bear with. Whoa, that is crazy good, Sinister Plank. That is really, really cool. See, so this needs to go down and that needs to go up. It's doing this mirrored is so difficult. Oh my god. Here we go. Pause at the ready. Nice. That is really, really good. Let me see if I don't think I follow you yet. Do I follow you yet? Follow. There we go. New follower on Instagram. Finally saved up enough. Oh, bless you. I need to lower this goal, really. Wild Space will do. Thank you for the follow. Throws Pokeball. Yeah. It is a wolf, yeah. Like, there we go. Fighting the urges to spend points has been difficult. Oh, bless you. I'll one day I'll be able to work out how to refund points, and I'll give you some points back, and then you can spend them on other things. How are you doing, Gray? You all right? Have you picked up a new headset yet? You've got some Skyclaw conversions to get a snow mix treatment this weekend. Ooh. Those latest 5 guys are probably the best Space Wolf you've ever painted. You can do that? Well, I don't know how to grant you permission to do that, but... Starlet Misfit, hello, how are you? Hit all the buttons. You just woke up and trying to get the subathon set up. Ooh, exciting. Thank you for the hydrate. I think I need a new drink. Bear with. I do need a new drink. How are you doing, Silent Misfit? You alright? Welcome to the stream. Oh, I gave you mod, didn't I? Nice. I'll give him back like 10,000 points. He just spent 12, so... You're going out tomorrow to get a new headset. Nice. I am doing Space Wolves. I've got Great Out Studios bits printed and, well, so far part painted. You'd think that I'd be able to hold stuff, but apparently not. And at the moment I'm just putting in some gradients and stuff. Funnily enough, like I was working on this thinking, oh well. It does it all or nothing. Okay, well then give him all back, and then I'll he can spend them as he sees fit afterwards. Yours are Dark Angels, awesome. I don't really paint any specific legion or anything like that. I paint what I think is cool. It's okay, it was worth it. I mean, hey, I just need to have a sit down at some point. Oh, God. And make some changes and add some more redeems because I haven't done that in ages. I very much want to make some more emotes as well. I used to buy them, get someone on Etsy to do it for me, but I feel like I should be able to do a bit myself. Grey walls. Done. Thank you, Kat. Paint what you think is cool is the right way to do it. Yeah, I feel like it is. To me, it is the way to do it. But then I'm lucky because I say lucky. I don't have a specific army that I ever need to worry about. I feel like if you have, oh god, if you have more of a like a sort of rigid structure to what you're painting, it's more difficult to like do silly things with it, which is what I tend to do. Gonna have to get going. Need to get a lot of work done around the house today. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you, Night Whisper. I really appreciate it. Thank you for hanging out, and good luck with the stuff to do. Zombie! Hey, how are you? Thank you for the raid. If you haven't played a game in over a decade, you'd love painting little dudes. Same. I don't really play either. I just paint. Thank you for the shout out, Kat. I appreciate it very much. How's it going, Zombie? You alright? How was your stream? Back when you were playing a lot, you were the second to last ranked player in your country. Wow. Precisely because you only painted what you thought looked cool. It's a choice, certainly. But I feel like if you paint what you like, then you're happy to field the models, right? They might not have the best synergy, they might not do like the absolute best on the field, but my god, do you have a good time painting them. It was very pleasant getting on with your Infinity model, nice. You never followed the meta or chose things with the best, just enjoy fielding cool things. I feel like that's the best thing. You had an email today, your Space Marine helmet will arrive in Feb. Oh, you have a few months to enjoy before suffering begins. I really need to, at the very least, lurk in your streams more often so I can build up some points to contribute to the suffering. I just spent a very small amount of time behind my PC outside of stream time. So it's usually yeah, it can be quite a challenge to build up points. It's kind of crazy to me though how long it's taken them to ship them. How's the Infinity model coming along, Zombie? Greetings and salutations again, Michael Payne's Minis. Thank you so much. You also greetings and salutations. Also cared more about playing a fun game than winning, so you felt like you hacked the system. If you won, you won. If you lost, you still won. I agree. That is probably the healthiest way to go about playing a game. Paint the models you like, the models you think are cool, and then play a game that focuses more on having a good time than on winning. Like there's some horror stories about people playing opponents who accidentally knock models off the table because they're frustrated, they've lost and stuff. I just nearly finished it, just need basing. Wow. You're going to enjoy your freedom of sight now, so you can take as long as they want to ship them. You're a very uncompetitive person. I feel like that's a thing to be proud of, to be honest. It's a very healthy way of looking at things. Good for your mental health. I feel like it's very easy to get sidetracked with winning and being better than the other person, which takes away a lot of the fun from these things. So, and then there's Chris. Super competitive? It's very much so. Fun is a challenge, not the result of the match. No, I agree. Threw some pics in the Discord. Ooh, awesome. I will have a look in a bit. Thank you. I'm very, very curious. I get that it's fun to not be tabled, right? It's not a fun game when your opponent immediately breaks through all your defenses and essentially kills the game. But I don't have to be I don't have to win to have a good time with anything, really. It helps that I also really like when other people are having a good time. So it makes me very happy when someone else is very happy, usually. Which really helps when it comes to playing games and stuff. Because even if I don't win, I still have a good time. You like to throw shiny rocks, shiny math rocks. What? You was third in European rankings. Crazy, I didn't know that. Being tabled is an opportunity to learn your army's weaknesses or your own technical oversights. Yeah, I guess. But it also feels like the other person isn't really allowing you a fun game, if that makes sense. Like, because they're obviously in it to win it, which is fair enough, because a lot of people are in it to win it, but the tournament up against a hyper-competitive opponent, you prefer not to get tabled, so it's over. I prefer to get tabled, so it's over fast and you can move on. Yeah, no, that's fair. Thank you for the Lurk Lord Pirate, I appreciate that. You both need more rest and you want to get your day going eventually. I'll be around. No worries. Thank you for hanging out, Diggermat. I really appreciate it. To be fair, people who do enjoy hyper-competitive play are also super valid in their enjoyment. Absolutely, I agree. It's just a different play style. And I think what works for one person doesn't necessarily work for the other. Or for another, which is fine. Everyone has their own things. That lurk message needs editing. What's it saying? What does it need changing into? I think it's just a default Nightbot response to a lurk, to be honest. It's missing a 4, really? Thank you, the support. I did not notice that. Shocking. By all means, if you have you have the power, I think. Please do fix it. The bad players are the ones who want to be top ranks but aren't very good at the game. Yeah, kindly do the needful, exactly. You've had a lot of experience playing top rank players who spend the game giving tips and advice and caring about your fun. Yeah, well, exactly. Well, that's the way. I feel that's the way to still have a fun game, even if you know you're going to win, right? Giving someone else help to also be better. We used to have a few board game tournaments in which we would swap sides, and it really helps reduce getting bodied. Oh, that's clever. Yeah, that's a good shout. You make. Oh Christ, what's going on here? That way, people make lists that. Ugh. That will be more, I think, more balanced and not necessarily meant to absolutely flatten an opponent. Downside is that most of the time when you change armies at the start of a match, the other person doesn't really know the strength of that specific army. So even if they had a way to table the opponent, it doesn't necessarily mean that they will, because they might not know the tricks. You never see top ranked players be toxic because they want you to do well so they can play a challenging game. That makes sense. It's a balance between being a top tier player but also being respectful and making the game enjoyable. Yeah. It's the ones that need to win at all costs. It's the thing that I find the least attractive in anyone, really. I think very few things I find, well, that's not entirely true, but there's few things that I find less attractive in people than being competitive at the expense of everyone's enjoyment. My mum used to have a friend who even on a game of Scrabble with me, and I was like 12 at the time. Sorry, not Scrabble, Rummy Cub. My brother, who was 8 at the time, and my mum, and my mum's friend, female friend, mind. She would sit there for every turn. She would sit there for about 10, 15 minutes or so. Because she was building up to the perfect move, and then she'd completely rearrange the entire board just to be able to put down like 1 or 2 pieces, and it just felt so... Started Misfit, thank you for the follow. It just felt really exhausting. Like, you're playing against 2 kids and your friend. Like, this is why you play Rummy Cup with a timer. Yeah, that's what we should have done, really. Great game, but just because of that, like, I have some frustrating memories from it, like of it, rather than fun times, which to me feels really wrong. I also think the people who consistently rank at the top tend to have an amount of maturity, dedication, and discipline required to actually become that good. Yeah, I think you're probably right. As a representative of the unskilled casuals, you abhor the prevalent competitive versus casuals division because it's bullshit. Yeah. Provided the competitives and the people who are actually good don't mind playing against people who are new. Because sometimes, to be fair, like sometimes it can be a bit boring to play a game against someone who needs to look up all their rules or who doesn't understand their army the way they should just yet. But at the same time, if you can teach someone something new, your mum is the exact same way. Yeah, it's like I get it. Like I get wanting to win, but ugh, man, honestly. You miss at OP. I don't mean to alarm you, but you seem to have a wolf around your yeah, Miss OP. I know it's I'm a bit sad that that my Nvidia broadcast like doesn't understand that the ears are part of it. It filters out the ears. But yeah, it's a redeem on my channel. People, oh, actually, I probably am allowed to take it off by now. It's been a while. Yeah, it's been nearly 20 minutes. I'm allowed to take it off. If someone can... God. Make me put it back on or tell me to wear one of my 3 wigs. Rummy Cub got you through many nights when you were late stage of pregnancy with your eldest. Your mum would stay up and play. Oh, that's nice. In your experience, the really good players tend to embrace an opportunity to share their knowledge. Yeah, because getting new players into the hobby is only going to be more fun by the end of it, right? This is why you like playing with Niv, because he's very patient. Niv is very patient with everyone. He is amazing. No, you're not. Like hell, you're taking that thing off. There are bad people in all levels of the hobby, but they're not representative of the hobby. No, I agree. It's nice though to have people that you play with play in a similar sort of style as you. It makes for a much more enjoyable game if the other player is also there just to have a good time. And still having a good time can mean that winning is winning can be fun. Show us the woo. At least it's warm. It's nice, actually, yeah. Speaking of, I should probably... Yeah. You do enjoy talking strategy and tactics with really skilled players. Even if I don't prioritize winning, it's still fun to learn and progress. Yeah, absolutely. People who understand the ins and outs of their armies will be able to tell you stuff that either can make you better so you can sort of guard against it for next time, or they might even know stuff about your army that you're not familiar with yet. So it's yeah, always worth talking to the people who are very good at things. Same with people who are very good at painting. I will never never ignore tips and tricks from people who have been in the hobby longer than I have. Honestly, playing a strong game does help to keep the game exciting for both sides. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely true. It's one of the reasons why I don't really play, if I'm honest. I have the attention span of a gnat most days. I really struggle to stay focused on these kind of things, so I would end up with my phone in my hand or something, and I would just feel really, really bad for my opponent. And I don't want to be that kind of opponent. Like even board games, sometimes I struggle with just to stay in the now and not get bored. For the most part, tournaments are a lot like mini painting Twitch communities, a gathering of really talented people who are wholesome and supportive. I mean, I have not come across a more chill and wholesome community than the Twitch miniature painting community. Everyone is so nice about the hobby, about painting, about being supportive to each other. It's a breath of fresh air, really, compared to the World of Warcraft Twitch community that I used to watch World of Warcraft creators, and it's nowhere near as fun and chill and nice. Play a bit of Warcry, 45-minute games, perfect for your attention span and free time situation. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, it's World of Warcraft for me. I can do some I tend to play with other people, which helps. I don't get bored when I'm chatting with other people usually. Spend a lot of time in the factory game communities and they're the same way. Yeah. Got you on the telly now while you're tidy, just shout if you need moderating and no one else is available. Thank you. Chill? I have been in your streams, yes. I have been in your streams. And by chill, I mean like a gathering of good people more than let's all go have a nap. Which I'm sure you're aware of. Sir Tease a lot. Uh-oh, you cut off the little pistons that connects the crotch to the legs. One of them disappeared. Oh no. These thingies. One of them for me is attached because it fits. This one I probably need to cut off because it doesn't, because of how I positioned the leg, it doesn't go there. But it's not glued in, it's still flexible and stuff, so I can just, like, I could just snip it off. But at this stage I'm like, from the front it looks cool, like you can still see it positioned there. I feel like if I leave it there it probably will look nicer. Same situation on your build, yeah. They're not mandatory, but I feel like the way it's positioned now, it's not super obvious that it's not going anywhere. And from the front it still looks cool, so I figured just leave it. They're pretty tough, yeah, true. Pretty though. Oh, sorry. Yes, they are. I feel this whole kit is really cool. There's very few bits on this kit that I don't like, and that's saying something considering I don't really do 40k. You've already glued the other one on at the right angle, so now it's just missing a piece. Oh, could you like take a tiny bit of sprue and sand that to fit and sort of work? You do love the old box nulls, but these are really cool. The old ones are cute in their like dopey dumpy way, if that makes sense. Yata Himura, thank you so much. I really appreciate the follow. It's in the same way that I like the old, oh my god, what's his name? Like possibly the ugliest Warhammer model ever created. He always gets made fun of. Really old model. He's been redone a few times. You approve this channel's name and they love the old school dreads? Yeah! Love a Dreadnought. They're very, very cool. To be honest, this one is one of the newer ones. One of the new kits. Just a Redemptor Dreadnought, but I'm fixing him up to be a Space Wolf with a bunch of Grey Tide Studio bits. Could use some Uhu glue and make it look like leaking oil, so that's true, that's clever. You're playing Space Wolf since 3rd edition and still have your old school metal Bjorn. Oh, awesome! Yeah, mix it with some, I would say mix it with maybe some Nuln oil or something and it'll be... Or paint it with Nuln oil afterwards, I guess. Yeah, this is my very first Dreadnought that I've ever done. You bought your first Space Wolf in the 90s and never got the old school Bjorn. I feel like a lot of people are very attached to their old school models. It's because they have sentimental value. And I like that. It makes me happy. Ugliest model ever. You know, oh god. He's hideous. He's kind of small, and I think he has a staff and a weird head thing on his head. Fiddlesticks, why can I not remember his name? I think he was metal. Your Swedish and Space Wolves were an obvious choice. Eldar Stalin is the ugliest model ever made, but you love it. I don't actually know what that is. I have to Google that one. Bear with. Eldar Stalin. Ah, yes. That thing. It's very silly. You bought all the new Space Wolf models, you still have your retro wolf. There's something really comforting about the retro ship. Oh man, I know I wanna. Yeah, it's very silly. I'm still relatively new to the hobby. I've been painting for like, I want to say like 18 months or something. Because I don't really retain information the way I would like to anymore, I often have to Google things to Is it like the early Njal Stormcaller? That's not the one that I meant. Nivian, if he were here, he would know. Very old metal Warhammer model. Ugly. Finecast now. Here he is. This is him. I can't remember what his name is. It's so dumb. And if someone tells me now, oh Nagash, there we go. Yep, I see. I was gonna say, like, as soon as someone says it, I was like, yeah, that's him. Yeah, he's. I know. There's something really comforting to the old 90s models, I feel. They have so much character, and they're just really, really fun models. Mad Skeletor vibes, absolutely, yes. I expect him to run away. Until next time. Oh, first generation Magnus is also fantastic, yes. Does you remember when this was released the first time? Oh, don't, yeah. You feel like Warhammer's at its best when it's a bit derpy. Yeah, I like it when it doesn't take itself too seriously. There's something really wholesome about stuff being just a little bit silly. Oh god. You have a Skeletor laugh video on your channel, you do? That's amazing. You were a bit sad to see the Thunder Wolf characters move to Legends. Yeah, there's something really depressing about any model being moved to Legends. It's because you know that was going to be someone's favorite model, right? Someone won't be able to use that model anymore, and it's just sad. Your heavily converted Harold Deathwolf mini is super sad about it. Canis Wolfhorn, yes. It's sucky that they committed to only having datasheets that has models attached to them. Yeah. It's it's a bit sad. I wish that everyone would always be able to play the armies they want to play with the characters and models in it that they like. But I also understand that there's only so many reiterations of the same models you can, like, or of the same things that you can refresh. Like, sometimes it just doesn't fit. Or if no one ever plays it because it's not very good, then like you can't really all of a sudden make it very good. You need to take the outlaw's dog for a walk, so catch you later. Thanks for hanging out, Kat. I really appreciate it. You really liked it when the codex came full of named characters that didn't exist as a model because it pushed it to be yeah, you can make your own. I think you're done sketching. You sketch a pumpkin, moon and a bat so far. Nice. You should, if you want to, take a picture and post it in the Discord. I have a Black Dog Discord for those of us who fancy occasionally sharing results and stuff like that. So, to be fair, the ladies' malice you made back in the day is nowhere near as cool as the new one. Fair. Thing is, words on a page are so cheap, putting in some character stat sheets in the book. That's true. That's true. Someone could just build their own thing, and as long as they sort of follow the book rules, then why not? Thank you for the Discord shout out. I appreciate it, Zach. I've heard you mention Discord a few times. You've been meaning to ask for it. Yeah, it's there. It's for everyone. Von Karstein lady with the new lady minutes. I haven't actually. Let me have a quick look because I am always interested in seeing new models. So Von Karstein model go. Oh, nice. Okay, and Lady Malice. Oh yeah, she's sick. Like she's one of the ones that I've been very interested in. When they announced her, I was like, oh shit, yeah. You think Games Workshop had a lawsuit with Chapter House Studios about this back in the day, which they actually lost, but that was the end of characters being in early books that didn't have models. I suppose that makes sense because it sort of stops other people from using it. Because obviously Games Workshop don't want people to make named characters that they've got in their codexes, but if you're not supplying your players with that model, why should you have the right to it, if that makes sense? I can send the pics directly from my PC when I get tired of drawing, as you're drawing with a tablet connected to your PC. Oh, nice. Yeah, that'd be awesome. White Wolf, how are you? How you doing? She'll get a twin soon. Oh. Right. I'm kind of bored of edging at the moment. I want a bit of Thank you, I appreciate it. Sorry, that's funny. You're waiting on a base to dry. It's been drying since 10 AM. Ugh. White Wolf and Black Dog have a whole pack going. Yeah, we should certainly do. Games Workshop being super successful as a corporation is both good and bad for a hobby in different ways. I agree. There's it's fantastic that they can do what they do. But like Nintendo in many ways, they need to chill out. Almost, Zach. It's made the world super awesome, it's also made the franchise more serious, yeah. If you cut it with a logo that's yin and yang, but the white is a wolf and the black is a dog. Oh, that'd be so cute! Oh my god, that'd be so cute. I shouldn't laugh, Zach, but it's funny. Alright, I need to rest my eyes on this from this for a bit. Let's put some paint on this. So you don't really have a big issue with Games Workshop, you're just doing what corporations do, you never expected more. Yeah, that's fair. You realise at this point Games Workshop is sounding a lot like the seagulls from Finding Nemo. This is true. Mine. You do miss the old days where the rules were equally as goofy. Yeah, there's some pros and cons. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a big fan. Like, I just like. I can be brown. I do brown. I just like Warhammer as a hobby. So for me, anything they come up with is a pro is a good thing as far as I'm concerned. Like I like that they have all these crazy things they do, and they should be yellow, not blue. That as well. Oh, Zach! The old school orc rules were phenomenal. You're very on the fence, the whole Gamak thing. I don't like. The guy's just a vibe, I get it. Just face into the keyboard. I am not ignoring you. This is quality entertainment. If you think I'm gonna ignore that, you're shit out of luck, my friend. Not on offense, it literally sold one-to-one Games Workshop proxies for new releases. I feel like I've missed something on that one. The old Zogward and Wazdak are fantastic models to play. I feel like because of the way I enjoy the hobby, or consume, I suppose, the hobby and what comes with it, I sort of circumvent a lot of the problems with it. Because I just buy the models that I like. I buy what I think is cool. And if I don't like it, I don't buy it, kind of situation. So I don't really have to worry all that much about rules, etc. But that isn't really fair. You did it! You did it, Zach! Chapter has sold bits and out of print stuff and oh, I heard about that. Ooh. Basically roll higher than your opponent's biggest, baddest characters now. Squeak for the rest of the game. That's amazing. I guess he's trying to raise sympathy for his company, to protect his income and all, but he knew what he was doing. Yeah. Hooray, and I have the tech literacy of an 8-year-old. Still more techie than I am, so... What's quite funny to me is that people will try and like justify behaviors of people who are quite literally doing IP infringement crimes. Or crimes, things. When the actual problems are more like the fan games and stuff like that, and fan art that's then being used by Games Workshop or whatever. Thanks for lurk. It worked, Zach, it worked! Yeah, who would do that? You were hoping we'd call everyone Airmax. Also, people said about Travarian's video and siding with Gamak. You realise Travarian has an axe to grind with Games Workshop. People, I think a lot of people have issues with Games Workshop. I don't know his background, but it wouldn't surprise me if he was a Games Workshop ex-employee or something like that. That's often the case. Hey folks, my mini marvels, how are you? Welcome to the stream. You were disappointed but not surprised about Troff's take. To be fair, he's got legitimate complaints. Oh my god, look, he has paws! On the inside? He has beans. Was not expecting beans. Marvels and Chris in one stream, I can't handle the overlap. I know, right? I'm being spoiled. And now so do you. Feed beans! I did wonder why you said that. Your Dreadnought needs more paws. You can always add more paws. That's 3 times in one stream. Let's see if I can... It's already at its tightest. Here we go. Putty time! Nice. What are you puttying? Mr. Krakow, hello! And let's burn out. This is brought to you by Thorgrim and Sunlim. Oh dear. Thorgrim. I know, right? More paws! They're gonna have to be pink. I know that's not something that wolves necessarily have, but I'm making these pink. I mean, Cat has inadvertently shown you how to get all your channel points back. Don't be naughty. And it's with a K. I checked. But I like the owls. Me too, crispy. Maybe me and Mr. Mini M should do a collab. Absolutely. I surely will not abuse this system. White will just spunking out. Pink is a great contrast colour for Space Wolves. I agree. It made all your weapon handles pink for that exact reason. Oh, nice. That actually makes sense. Let's do it! Yeah, you should. You'll have people needing to take breaks because the overload of goodness is just too much. I'll have another look later because it's didn't really have time to really check him out, but it does make sense. Once you draw a sword, we should say, yeah, we all want to watch that. Magenta saturated red gems. Yeah, I am. What did I put in mine? Can't even remember what I put in there, but they're not done yet because I just made a test on them and I'm not a fan yet. I'm gonna have to look up some suggestions. How to paint diamond-shaped gems. It's like they're way easier to paint. Like round gems are way easier. Why? White Wolf did what now? You take me pictures when you posted quite out of focus. Oh. Mega's purple contrast paint. Oh, that's clever. People will ban clipping, it will be your fault. or they'll ban clipping and it won't be your fault. It will be someone else's fault because you said or did something. Oh, I suppose that would make it your fault again. Ah, dropping things like they aren't even hot. Where's the other shoulder piece? You'd think that it'd be easy to spot. Oh, there it is. You like bright and vibrant marines? Yeah, same. White Wolf will get the blame no matter what. It's true. White Wolf be spunking. I was like, I'll go get you a towel. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have Megal's purple. Yeah, I do. Oh, I need to get a new one of these. This is pathetic. Xandri dust. Could have sworn we had a new one of that. Maybe not. Nice to see the return of Apron Chan. Yeah. I'm wearing a top with too much cleave. I was like, I'm not wearing this on stream. Because I'll constantly be pulling it up. I figured if I put this over top, it will be covered up. And I won't have to worry about flashing all of Twitch. You ran out of shatter point minis to build. No. Remember, if you see a white prime model, I don't use white primer. Ew. In fairness, I'm an old man, so old school aesthetic is kind of your natural aesthetic. Oh, bless you. Crusty. Black primer for life. I both agree and disagree on that. You would like to see the cleavage, but you get to see the cleavage. Like, I'm not here for the thirst trap, plus I'm a bit too old to be trapping. I am Zenithal Prime usually. You have to me a flat white and to me a thinner to paint over the black for brighter models. Yes, I am willing to spend 60k challenge for this channel points. If you just wait like an hour, you will see the cleave, so you don't need to spend anything. Don't be silly. What are we doing for dinner, actually? Chicken burger's nice. It's been so long just base coating over black before Zenithal and airbrush and stuff became commonplace. It's just ingrained. Yeah, the only reason why I'm a fan of Zenithal is because I struggle to see the details on models without the contrast. So it's more of a visual aid for me than anything else. Plus I used to paint with contrast paints a lot less now, if you said after just contrast painting that thing, but yeah, it evolved into airbrush coating, base coating, yeah. Gee bobber. No, chimkin bobber. Cooking pork tonight, wives didn't get the hint when you cut into the shape. Oh no! Why did she not? She's too innocent, White Wolf. You spent years and years and years staring at black models, so your eyes have adjusted. Yeah, yeah, slices cheese. You bought your first Warhammer in 1992. I was 6. You didn't really do it, but she's innocent, bless her. Bless her, cotton socks. You were 7? Oh, nice. Yeah, I didn't get into the hobby until 18 months ago or so. You were 1. You're a baby. My brother was also 1. You can't be bothered to do the maths. That's fair. It's true, I'm a child. I am a baby. Your dad got you into model trains and scale models before you even knew how to read. Nice. You wasn't even a thought. You weren't even a sparkle in your daddy's eye yet. You were 8. He was of an age. Metal Katashan models that looked like Rambo and you were hooked. Nice. You're just a baby. I'm trying my best. I'm just a baby. Yeah, sometimes I feel really old and other times I don't notice it at all, so. Your local model shop has a single shelf of Warhammer blisters all mixed up, bless them. Dark Elves next to Space Marines. Criminal. You painted them with Humbrol enamel paints without primer. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much par for the course, isn't it? For the old timies. It's we didn't know how at all. I think I painted my first model when I was 16, I want to say, 15 or 16. I'm pretty sure it was like a Bretonnian Knight or something like that. Also, no primer. And obviously dog shit. Still had a good time though. Your local store had a whole floor for where you didn't know what it was. Oh, awesome. You got your first taste of the hobby making airfix planes. Cool. Rhyme was so obscure back then, you nearly as pop culture as it. No. I wonder who got you. Yeah, Nivian's dad is a train guy. Sorry, a plane guy. Train guy. Your dad was in the Air Force, so he bought you tons of airfix. And a 148 scale Buccaneer in the air using your airbrush. Made me realise how dog shit the stuff you made as a kid must have been. Your dad was in the RAF as well, wasn't he? Was he an engineer in the RAF, or did he actually? Yeah. You know, it'd be funny if they were in the same. If they knew each other. Your dad also got you into miniature painting, really? Jeez. It had a petrol-driven remote control Airwolf helicopter. Oh. It's Nivea. Wow, he's my dad. No, he's not your dad. He's your daddy. There's a difference. That was an officer retired as a general. Wow. Not me. Yeah. Thanks. Proud of you, son. Aww. Airwolf. At least one of my dads is proud of me. They're more proud if you can finish a Telemon before our next game. Afraid gonna have to drop and take meds and stuff to tell them to feel human. Much love, Chris. I hope you feel better soon. Thank you for hanging out and for the redeems and for everything, as usual. Have a good evening. Ah, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. Teeth on a chain. I should probably just do the... I'll do the... while I still have my poor dry brush out and... Nick, when you say chicken burgers, is that favorite chicken burgers? What are we making? What are we playing next? Yeah. I think I need to dive in my box of plaster cast rocks for this Dreadnought base. Awesome. The amount of cork needed a bit of spruce. Yep. Cork can only get you so far. I love Cork, but it's okay. If you order chicken about, yes, absolutely. That was what I was sort of going to be my next question, to be honest. Cork has a very identifiable texture unless you put a lot of work into it. Yeah, I don't mind it so much if you like add like on this side, just add texture paste on top. So you just use it to build height. I haven't obviously finished that yet, but because over here it's still quite obvious. But yeah, will need to be New Year for you to out of holiday days for this year. Yeah. Torn up Cork generally looks like torn up Cork. Fair. I like to add a load of texture paste on top to make it look... Yeah, exactly. Used a whole sheet of cork on forward rice. Yeah. It's a massive base as well, though. Wood and ceilings rock molds are amazing. I haven't actually done any plaster molding. Should probably look at that at some point because I do have plaster, which I picked up from the miniature train store. I should probably just give that a go because that would save. We have a 3D printer as well, so it's like that's kind of where the could probably fit my 1500 point army into the spare room in my case, and I'm bringing an Angron. Or boarding exercise force. Yeah. One of the ideas you have for next year's challenge uses the size of those trays in our army bag as a unit of measurement. Ooh. I'm already so excited for next year's challenge, and I'm not even probably like halfway. Excuse me for the blast of noise through there. I'm probably about halfway done with my this year's challenge model. I really like the combat patrol roulette idea. You'll learn more in my presentation. I'm already so excited about the Warhammer quiz this year. For anyone wondering, our New Year's, the last probably about... Oh shit, it's Garrett's shoulder pad, yeah. Our New Year's, the last probably like 6 years or so, have been with Nivian, Argamax, and 2 of our other friends. And now that we're all into Warhammer, we're doing like New Year's challenge, and Nivian last year did a New Year's quiz, Warhammer quiz, and it is really fun. So I am very excited about New Year's. But yes, Garrosh definitely has very similar shoulder pads. It's true, like the heroically brave sacrifice of being loved and cared for. Exactly. Exactly. It's a struggle. It's suffering. Why are you so wet? Exactly. I'm jealous. Oh no. What, do you also want to be cared for, or do you want New Year's to be fun? Or both, obviously. Because to me it sounds like you have a pretty fun... like, situation going. Both? Yeah. Like, why not both? Need to start a print? No worries. Now I want to know what you're printing. Lots of life stress over the last few years. I tried to reprint that Glali a bit bigger as the one you started painting. It's quite bad layer lines. Oh, okay. Seems to be going okay after you hollowed it. Awesome. Should find another cup to mount this on. Should find another cup to mount all these bits on, really. I have more, I'm pretty sure I have more poster buddies. So 1, 2, 3 more cups. are you printing? Just as I was packing up my stuff, I got an ad from McDonald's and I was already starving. Oh no! Dangerous. We have a local fried chicken shop. Also very dangerous for much the same reason. And today I went in their shop and bought a couple of 100 large-sized wine corks, and I have all the hobby handles. And yeah, that's a good shout. That works. Give it for today because you're hungry and tired and don't feel like getting into the colouring. No, that's... Stop while you're ahead. Don't get frustrated with it. That is a good rule of thumb, in my opinion. I'm sorry, I was mid-Redenpoor. Sorry. Zach, your dad's disappointed with you. Don't have McDonald's near you. You have to drive almost an hour. I feel like that's not really worth it for a McDonald's. McDonald's should be convenient, not a struggle. More berserkers for the Angron base. Daddy, no, please. Daddy, yes. You live on an island on the countryside. Oh no. Yeah, no chance of getting a... Do you get any home deliveries, or is everything... Is everything a problem? I have 2 whole McDonald's here, both in the city. Oh, okay, so it's not a tiny island, it's... Yeah. We have a McDonald's, but it's been undergoing a remodeling. We were all psyched up to go one night and then realised it was closed. But I think it's open now. I think they finished on the 10th of October. No home deliveries, only in the city. Oh. Hard work. Actually having to cook for yourself. To be fair, I do enjoy cooking for myself, but it's, or for us, but it's, sometimes you just want the convenience of not having to cook. Speaking of which, I think Nivian is about to order food for us, so I should probably finish. Fur. Boots with the fur. Right, that can stay. Cool. Almost got a heart attack. You shut your drawing in and saving that you remember saving a bunch of times. Ugh. It's awful when, like, you get these, it's like, save it windows. It's like, it's saved. Okay, where? I don't know. I don't know. Many stressful moments. Side note: 3M double-sided foam tape is an excellent mounting solution for sub-assemblies on your wine corks. Oh, nice. I use Poster Buddy, like the purple blue tack stuff. Purple, blue. And I use plastic shot glasses like these. But like big corks are essentially this, so easier to hold potentially. What are the roll table ends and think you get normal size rolls? Shut up, it was a full foot in diameter. Yeah, so much tape. I did the same thing with bubble wrap. I thought it was going to be a normal size roll, and instead it was like proper like. You shared your progress on Discord. Awesome! I will have a look in a bit. Thank you for doing that. Use Gorilla Poster Putty a lot, both for mounting and easy masking. That's a good shout. Right, I need to go get some food before I have World of Warcraft Mythic Plus Dungeons in a bit. And I have another hair in there, which is very tickly. So let's go have a quick look to see who else is twitching at the moment. See if we can go raid someone. See, Rampant Bacon is doing stuff. Let's see what they're doing. A 3D printed knight of sorts. Yeah. Why the heck not? Let's go bacon. Right. Thank you so much for hanging out, Mr. Lovegood. It's been really, really fun having you with us again. It's been nice. Yeah. Always really, really, really enjoy hanging out with people and chatting and stuff. It makes me very happy. So, what's that? So yeah, I'm going to create a raid. I'm going to send this over to Rampant Bacon, who is currently chatting to the stream. So yeah, that one needs fixing too. I don't think I've used that one, so that's just Nightbot having deciding to do stuff. So yeah, I'll create the raid to Rampant Bacon. Everyone, I've had a really, really nice stream, and I really appreciate everyone hanging out with me today, everyone chatting, and all the new follows and everything. It's been an absolute pleasure. So I really appreciate it. Thank you all very, very much. I will be back on Wednesday, around 7 PM UK time. So if anyone fancies hanging out, please do come round, and yeah, we'll go hang out with Rampant Bacon for a bit. Give them some love. Thank you all very much. See you very soon, hopefully. And yeah, have a nice rest of your Saturday. Bye bye.